MCJ Sports.
Hello there and welcome back to MCJ Sports. My name is Marko. In today's video, I'll be discussing the 11 teams I think can make the college football playoff this season. Before we begin, I would just like to remind everyone to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about new videos. First up, I have Washington. The Huskies are ranked 6th in the preseason AP poll and the only team from the Pac-12 on my list. They return starting quarterback Jake Browning and running back Myles Gaskin, as well as a strong defense. Playing Auburn Week 1 is their biggest test. A loss could make them have to go undefeated to make the playoffs, but a win could make them title contenders. They also have to play Oregon on October 13th and play Stanford on November 3rd. Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish are ranked 12 in the preseason AP poll and the only independent on this list. Quarterback Brandon Wimbush returned for his senior year, but Heisman hopeful and leading rusher Josh Adams is now in the NFL, as is leading receiver Equanimeous St. Brown. Notre Dame has the fourth hardest schedule in college football, playing Michigan opening week, as well as Stanford, Virginia Tech, Navy, Florida State, and USC. Wow, what a tough schedule, but you can never count out Brian Kelly and the Irish. Oklahoma. The Sooners are ranked 7 in the AP preseason poll and the only Big 12 team on this list. Even though they lost Heisman winner Baker Mayfield, they have a solid replacement for him in Kyler Murray. Meanwhile, Lincoln Riley will continue to learn in his second year at the helm in Norman. They also maintain a lot of offensive talent like Marquez Brown and CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver, and Rodney Anderson and Trey Sermon at running back. Also in the Big 12, their biggest competition might be Will Grier and West Virginia, so they are the clear favorite to come out of the conference. Wisconsin. The Badgers are ranked 4 in the AP preseason poll and the first of 3 Big Ten teams on my list. They were 12-0 last season and in prime playoff position before losing to the Buckeyes in the Big Ten championship game. They are still in the driver's seat in the weaker West Division and should get another shot at the title and the playoff behind Alex Hornibrook, the best offensive line in college football, and Paul Chryst. Ohio State. The Buckeyes are ranked 5 in the AP preseason poll and the second of 3 Big Ten teams on my list. Despite all of the disarray around the program right now, I believe that the Buckeyes can navigate the difficult Big Ten East with the most athletic team in the conference by far and a tough non-conference schedule to be a playoff contender. Michigan State. The Spartans are ranked 11 in the AP preseason poll and the last of 3 Big Ten teams on my list. Maybe one of the most unexpected teams on this list, Michigan State is flying way under the radar currently. They won 10 games last season and are returning 19 total starters on offense and defense combined. I have them as my second team in the East Division instead of Penn State and Michigan because they have more experience than the former and a better quarterback in Brian Lewerke than the latter. Clemson. The Tigers are ranked 2 in the AP preseason poll and the only team from the ACC Atlantic on my list. Clemson has made the last 3 playoffs, and Dabo Swinney has the program still moving in the right direction. They have Kelly Bryant returning at quarterback and the best defensive line in college football. Louisville and Florida State are no longer a threat in the Atlantic Division, as Clemson is now in a league of its own. Miami. The Hurricanes are ranked 8 in the AP preseason poll and the other ACC powerhouse that is on this list. The Hurricanes' defense was number 1 in turnovers forced as they brought out the turnover chain a whopping 30 times last season. Add the fact that the offense was clutch as they won 6 games by a possession or less last season, and you have a recipe for a dangerous playoff contender. Alabama. The Crimson Tide are ranked number 1 in the AP preseason poll. What's new? Alabama's dominance under Nick Saban cannot be overstated, as they have been the best program in college football for the past decade, and there's nothing different about this year. They still have one of the scariest defenses led by Roquan Davis and Mack Wilson that is always top 5 in the country. They have their usual stable of running backs, which this year includes Damian Harris, Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, and Brian Robinson. Also, did I mention that they are in the middle of a quarterback competition between 2 of the top 5 or 10 quarterbacks in the country? In my eyes and in many others, Tua Tagovailoa is the far better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, and that this quarterback competition is only being drug out so that they can keep Hurts as a backup so he doesn't transfer. What difficult decisions Nick has to make in Tuscaloosa? Which 5-star quarterback am I going to play? Also, the Tide have a relatively easy schedule even by Alabama standards. Auburn. The Tigers are ranked 9 in the AP preseason poll, and they have one of the strongest defenses in the country. They're playing second fiddle to Alabama in the SEC West right now, but they won the Iron Bowl last season and could win it almost any season. Auburn has one of the toughest schedules in the country, but I could see them prevailing and making the college football playoff this season. Lastly, I have Georgia. The Bulldogs are ranked third in the AP preseason poll, and despite losing many players to the NFL draft, still have one of the best teams in the country, which is helped by the number one recruiting class that they had in 2018. They still have a top 5 defense and an offense that is more predicated on the run game, but can still pass when needed, so Georgia is still a threat in the SEC East, SEC, and for the playoff. Alright guys, that's it for the video today. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I will see you guys next time.